Welcome to the Kop TV, the voice of football's most famous stand.
Yes, hello and welcome back to the Kop TV for yet another match preview. This time it's against FC Midtjylland, all the way from Denmark. Of course, it would not be right if I wasn't joined by my brother Doyle, aka Freestyle DM for this. How are we doing, brother?
I'm all right, mate. Just having my cup of tea in the morning in my Liverpool cup. Lovely.
Nice. Let's get a zoom in on that, please, mate, because I believe your name's actually on there. There you go, Doyle Neal, number 8, next to Firmino and Mane. Love that. Beautiful stuff. Right then, so of course we are back in the Champions League action tonight. Before we get into this match preview and starting 11 prediction, guys, if you haven't already, smash the like button. Let's see as many likes as we possibly can get today. Let's also hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Really important to us that you guys subscribe if you are coming onto the channel to watch. Got some comments coming in already, but now listen, not many of us know much about FC Midtjylland, Doyle. The Danish champions, they were only formed in 1999. This team has already piked up a bit of interest from Klopp, because back in 2015, after his break from Borussia Dortmund, Klopp actually wanted to travel to this team because apparently they've climbed the ladder so quickly. I mean, listen, they were founded in 99. They're in the Champions League already, but they've climbed the ladder so quickly thanks to their data-led analytical approach to football. And Klopp said he knows a little bit about the story of the club and how they've tried many things using a science in a different way, and it's obviously worked well. And apparently their own data company have said that Liverpool have a 99% chance of progressing to the knockout stages of the Champions League, bro. So, that's a little bit of information about them, but have you ever heard of them before? First time in the Champions League tonight for them.
Do you know what? That Paulinho plays for them, doesn't he? The Brazilian.
Paulinho, does he?
Yeah, and so I think I've heard of him through that. Yeah, but to be honest, I've only heard of it through FIFA, lad, so that's the only way, to be quite honest. Do you know what that story sounds like? A little bit reminiscent of Leipzig. You know, them type of teams 100%. That just come out of nowhere and they look like they're going to be a boss little team, even a Salzburg or something, like just teams that come out of nowhere. But having said that, they're still very new. They're still, relying on data and stuff like that, which is great. Definitely is, because it's going to make you efficient in a match, but it doesn't give you quality. That's just what it is, mate. Do you know what I mean? You can analyze a game all you want, but you haven't got a Mane and you haven't got a Salah and you haven't got a Bobby, then it doesn't really matter too much. Does that make sense, lads?
Yeah, I think a lot of their signings have been based on kind of data-led analytics, which again does work because you've seen how it's worked with Liverpool so far and Jota, for example. I think when we were looking to buy another player for this season, I think one of the top people in Europe in terms of goals, assists, and also running and interceptions, getting the ball back was Jota. So listen, every team does use data to go out there and buy the best player that they think they need for their team. We'll see how Midtjylland get on tonight. It's at Anfield, so it's going to be difficult for them. David here, and now listen, we are going to get into the lineup prediction, but David here says, Doyle, if Origi does not start against these, then why did we keep him?
Fair play. I agree with him, to be honest. Like, we haven't been playing, and we've been playing Jota. We played Shaqiri even over him the other day. Yeah. It's very true. Why have we kept him if we're not going to play him? We'll see. I think he might even start tonight. It might be a game where you see him start, because if you see the team and you see what Klopp's talking about recently, he wants to get everybody rotating around. So he might even start. That could be a little shout for tonight.
He could start. I think if you look at the last game in the Champions League, we obviously went with the big three up front, but at the weekend we saw the likes of Jota come into the team and was obviously a big test to see how we fared there. So we'll get into the starting 11 very shortly. Toby here says, you're right, lads. Yes, lads. Hope we are well. Alex, Liam Gallagher update. Haven't seen Liam for at least a week now, Ant. So I'll have to just keep you in the loop for when he does walk past next. But Ant's here, a strong 5-0 front three, Trent and Milner. That's a very, very precise score prediction. So you reckon Salah, Mane and Firmino to get one, and Trent and Milner. Big shout. Didn't United play them a few years ago? That's the only memory I have of the team. I think they did actually back in the Europa League. The Anfield Talk says, well, this shit is going to be a piece of cake. And Ant Dicko does confirm that apparently the rumours are Origi will start tonight at Anfield. It does make sense. Listen, if we're talking about the game, obviously you can see in the comment in the title for this video, I said, let's smash these. I think when a team, with all due respect to FC Midtjylland, but when a team comes to Anfield after only being founded 21 years ago, you'd expect a big win for the home team. Listen, 6 times champions of Europe. This is only their second ever game in the Champions League. So Doyle, how do you see this one going tonight?
Big win for us, lad. I think it's going to be a nice little tally for the boys. I want to see Origi come on, have a good game and score 1 or 2 goals. That's what I want to see, lad. I want to see him keep motivated, keep, wanting to get into this team. Because the reality is this season is long and we've got a lot of games. If you look in the next 2 weeks, mate, we've got, how many games have we got? Like 4?
Yeah, a lot of fixtures coming up for Liverpool.
We need these players. We need these players. So I think tonight, what I want to see is just a great attacking performance where we scored a lot of goals. Origi and the other fringe players get their time on the pitch where they can also score as well. Do you know what I mean? We don't need to play Salah and Mane every game, and if we do, we can afford to bring them on late in the match because they're that effective anyway. I believe they'll come on and score if they want to anyway. To be quite honest. Yeah.
So you're saying don't start the main 3 up front tonight? Is that what you're saying?
Start Origi on the right, Mane on the left, Salah in the middle or something. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Do something like that. Like you need to make Origi feel like he's part of the front 3 as well, not just a fringe player, if that makes sense. And by letting Mane and Salah play still whilst he's with them, it makes him feel like he's part of that dynamic still, rather than just coming on with the other substitutes, if that makes sense. I think that's a big thing. And when it comes to players' mentality, you have to keep them motivated. And Klopp's really good at that. He's boss at that. He's good at making people feel like they're valued in the team. And that's why he's able to keep them for so long. And that's why he has a good relationship with so many players, I think. So, yeah, I think Origi will start tonight. Makes a lot of sense. That's a really good point that someone brought up then, David.
Yeah, great point from David there. I mean, looking ahead, Doyle, obviously we've got West Ham 5:30 at Anfield on Saturday, where we're expecting the likes of Thiago to come back. And then only the Tuesday after that, on the 3rd, it's Atalanta away in the Champions League. And then the same weekend, Man City. And then there's a 2-week break and we come back and face Leicester at home on the 21st. So some huge games coming up. Only 3 games really, though, until we see another 2-week international break, which is obviously frustrating in terms of consistency. But yeah, are we expecting for this one that we're not going to see a Thiago? We're going to save him for Saturday against West Ham when realistically, Doyle, West Ham are on fire right now.
Yeah, so this is what exactly my thinking when we're going into this game. We're going into a game where we're clearly the favourites right now tonight.
Yeah.
So we can afford to, relieve some players and we don't need to run so much because on Saturday we are going to need them players. Because if you watch what West Ham did against City, they just didn't stop, mate. They just kept going and going and going and kept defending, and that's what they've done it all season now. For 5, how many games have we played?
6 games now.
Yeah. They've done it all season. They've done really well as well. Like, with our defence, Antonio's probably going to have a little goal or something in him as well. So, yeah, I want to see Thiago saved. Maybe save one of the fullbacks as well. Do you know what I mean? Like, just let's try and... Klopp knows what he's doing, lad. I believe in what he's going to do and believe in what he's going to pick tonight, to be honest. I don't know quite now, because you never know with Klopp. We've got that much depth now as well.
Yeah, I mean, so much depth. In terms of injuries for tonight, with players that are definitely ruled out, they're saying here, Keita has missed 3 games now due to testing positive for coronavirus. We don't know when he'll be back. But Thiago and Matip obviously out, injured. The Ox is out, injured. Tsimikas is still out, I think. So listen, there's going to be a few lads who aren't around tonight to play. But having said that, you mentioned the squad depth there. I mean, even if the 3 or 4 of the big lads are out, we can still bring in a Nico Williams if we did want to rest Trent tonight. We could also bring in Milner if we wanted to give the likes of Ronaldo a rest. Henderson might get a rest tonight as well. I'd love him to start. So let's go into. I mean, let's finish off by saying our score predictions, and then we'll go straight into the predicted lineups. So, Listen, in the last one, Champions League game, I think I predicted 3-2. We came away with that 1-0. Very happy with that. And if we win this tonight, Doyle, I genuinely think we are halfway there in terms of qualifying for the next round of the Champions League. It was a lot more difficult for us to get out of the group stages last year and the year before, to be honest. Obviously, the year before last, we ended up winning it. But I am going to go with the big scoreline tonight. I do think it will be 4-0 or around thereabouts to Liverpool. I'd love to see Origi score. I'd love to see Minamino score if he plays. And just as much as I do want the lads up front to score the goals as well, I do want there to be some kind of balance in between where the goals come from. So it'd be nice to see the midfield chip in tonight as well. So I'm going to go with 4-0. Doyle, Mr. Freestyle DM, what are we going for tonight?
I think I agree with that scoreline, 4-0, 3-0,
4-0.
something like that. I want to see a clean sheet tonight, mate. That's why I'm saying a nil, because we've been conceding goals every game. So Alisson's back, defences have the game together. They're not playing against a super strong team. This is a good practice game for them to try and get their heads together and try and play together to get them in that new system if they play the same system. So 4-0, and I want to see Origi with some goals. That's what I want to see. I basically want to see Henderson start so that we can get the game going. We get a few goals in us, and then he can bring on all the other players, the Tahis and the Shaqs and all that. That's when you can rest them, you know what I mean, lads? Give them like 30 minutes, bring them on in the 55th minute. You get what I mean, lads?
Yeah.
Like, just
absolutely.
I just want to see a professional performance today.
Couldn't agree with you more. I think that's a great tactic there to start Hendo, get him riling up the lads, get a few goals, and then he can come off. His job for the night is done there. Darren Whelan says the most important outcome from tonight is that we experiment the team, win, and get no injuries. The getting no injuries part is absolutely fucking vital. David here says, of course, if we go with the A team and smash them, that takes pressure off the stage in the crammed schedule. Absolutely. Ant says, tonight is where it hits home, big time. In the Champions League with no fans. Of course, the last game was the game I was at, the Liverpool Atletico game back in March. So, yeah, I think having no fans in the Champions League at Anfield makes a big difference.
Bro, it's late as well. This is like this is what Anfield was made for, lad. It's made for them nights in the dark, lad, with the fog lights on and, you know, the mist and the wet, lad, and just foreign teams coming to our stadium being like, what the fuck, it's freezing here. You know what I mean? Like, I love that, lad. I mean, it's heavy, lad. I can't wait to get them back. I miss the Champions League nights, lad.
So much. I think the Champions League for me is the one when you really, like Ant says, feel like it's a proper game under them lights.
Some of the best days of your lives,
mate,
with a Champions League game attached to it. Like, I think about, like, for example, one of the best Champions League nights for me, I went to the City games. When we lost in Kiev, I went to every single game in that Champions League run, every single one, lad. But the ones that stuck out were the City ones, lad. When we beat City, mate.
Yeah, absolutely wild.
That was just the best.
Absolutely wild. What a game that was. The Anfield Talk is very confident. He's going for a 12-0 win tonight. Maybe a little bit unrealistic, but do let us know in the comments what you guys think about our 4-0 score predictions. We're both going for 4-0, both going for goals for Origi. Let's get into the starting lineup. For me, Alisson has to start. The more games he can get under his belt, the better. So he's in goal for me. I'm actually going to go with a back line of Nico Williams. I'm going to go with Fabinho and Gomez, which I just think generally for the next 2 or 3 games at least has to be our centre-back partnership. And then I'm going to go with Robbo on the left. Do you agree with that, Doyle?
So I'm not going to lie. I want to see the full-strength team at the start with Origi in there. That's what I want to see, mate. I want to see a full-strength team that just takes the first half and just wins that first half so well that the second half we can literally do what you want to do. Yeah.
Listen, I've just got to let the old postman in, so do bear with me. I'll be 30 seconds. Doyle, keep the crowd entertained. All right. Take care.
Sam. So I think my starting lineup, if I'm talking about the back line, I want to see just a non-back line. I want to see them getting familiar with the tactics that we've just implemented, essentially. I want to see them dominate the game so they have confidence in that performance as well. It's difficult to just introduce kids into a new system, and this is why I think Nico Williams starting at right back is a bit heavy sometimes. Like, we started Curtis Jones in the last game and we took him off at half time, mates, because you could, you know, you could see that he couldn't really deal with the pressure.
Too much point in it, was there? If you're going to start someone in a game like that, especially with the kind of lack of experience that he's got, I'd say let him play the whole game.
Lads. In my opinion, right, with young players, you put the pressure on them, but in the right moments at the right times, lad. So what I mean by that is we're winning 2-0, 3-0 in this game. All right, come on, keep a clean sheet, lad. I want you to make sure none of them crosses get in. We're in a good position. This is the pressure, but it's not pressure of if we don't win this game, we need to win the next one, because you know that type of thing. Like different kinds of pressure that you want to put on these young players. So I think Nico, come on at the second half for Trento or Robbo.
Oh, so basically for you, it's a full strength team with Origi, and who gets dropped? Firmino.
Yeah.
So Firmino on the bench tonight. Yeah, I mean, I can completely see why you go with that team. I just want to see a little bit more in midfield, a little bit of a change in midfield. In terms of what is perceived as the strongest 11, I'm guessing that you'd be going with Wijnaldum, Henderson, and who else would you have in the midfield tonight, knowing that Fabinho's at centre back?
This is the thing, innit, now, lad? So we can't have Kop because he's out. So this
Milner
is why. What?
Milner or Jones? It has to be to start.
This is the thing, lad, innit? So it's like, or again, we could play Bobby, lads, and put Bobby in the centre attack and mid position behind them three lads. So we could even do that. I would like to see that, like, because it's a great attacking formation. It's like got a good transition between defence and attack. You've got four attacking players and 5 defensive players. Good.
The thing with this season, and I think it's different to seasons gone by, is when we are doing lineup predictions and match previews and stuff like that. I mean, they're genuinely, with a game like tonight, there's genuinely no way of knowing which way Klopp is going to go. So we can sit here and try and predict it as much as possible. But we all know what Klopp's like, and he does throw out a few surprises when it comes to an hour before kickoff. I mean, I wouldn't even be that surprised if we saw someone like a Reece Williams starting tonight alongside Fabinho. It wouldn't surprise me. I mean, I wouldn't pick him in my team tonight, but it wouldn't surprise me at the same time. We've been surprised. So either way, we are still going for a strong team, a strong spine, and a team that really should be putting 4 or 5 past the Danish champions FC Midtjylland, who, again, like I said, are only playing their 2nd ever Champions League game. They played United back in the Europa League a few years ago. So like Doyle was saying at the start, I mean, people might not know about these guys at all, apart from FIFA. And even then, you know, to play them in FIFA, you'd have to be using a team that aren't in the Champions League. But yeah, really looking forward to this one. A great opportunity for us to put some goals away. Talk to me about the game coming up on Saturday. Hopefully, with all things, you know, going well tonight, we get this one out of the way with no injuries. But looking ahead to Saturday, that 5:30 kickoff is actually our favourite time to play a game, statistically, right? So I'm expecting a win, a tighter win than hopefully tonight. But, I mean, with Thiago back in the team for Saturday, you've got to go all out, don't you, Doyle?
I think Thiago in our team is a different team, mate. Simple as that. So it's like I have the confidence of last season when Thiago's in our team. Yeah. Because he's that extra element. Do you know what, when we were talking about stats and stuff and like, you know, looking at teams and being able to understand how they play and what they do and the success rates and all that type of stuff. The point is, that is very successful until you meet players like Thiago. That's the point. He's an anomaly, lad. He's the player that creates them through balls. He's the player that just makes things happen that aren't supposed to happen, lad. That's as simple as that. And so when he's in our team, I've only seen him play for 90 minutes probably, but you just see the difference in the whole squad. Everybody starts making runs. Everybody lifts the game up, lad. You watch Trent, he'll do a 40-yard pass, lad, and you look at Thiago like, that was good, weren't it, mate? I'm good, aren't I? Like you. You know what I mean, lad? He's like,
we be making that.
Yeah, we're making that, lad. Do you know what I mean? Like, he ups everyone's game. Lad. He's got such class to his game. So I think Wednesday is when we may have a little turning point in the season where we show City, like, we're fucking ready for the season, lad. With this player, with Alisson back, even though Van Dijk's gone, we're fucking ready. And that's what I want to see on Saturday, and I think we can do that. Where is it?
At Anfield.
Lad, this could be a really good turning point in our season, you know. Like, this is like a game for me, the way I can see is just going following through this.
Hopefully, bro. Hopefully. Listen, more comments coming in about tonight's game. So apparently the next goal for Liverpool, Doyle, will be our 10,000th goal of all time.
Wow.
So who do you think is going to get the 10,000th goal? David here saying Origi for 10k.
That sounds like an Origi goal to score, lad. Doesn't it, lad? If anyone's going to score that goal, it's Origi, lad. Everyone scored millions of goals, but only Origi, lad, scores the very most important goals. You're on it, lad. Yeah, he's the only one that scores them goals.
100%. I'm going for Origi. If he does start tonight, I can see Origi having a bit of a field day, and I am going for Origi to score the 10,000th goal. Love that. Sad day that we are leaving Millwood after the City game. So listen, we play City on the 8th of November. Come the 9th, when there is that 2-week break for international duty, we move across to Kirby, the new training ground, the incredible new training ground. Very sad day that will be to leave Millwood, Doyle.
Oh yeah, mate. I was gutted when I found out about this. I grew up in West Derby. So anyone that's from Liverpool, I'm from West Derby. That's where I grew up. So I used to go to Daisy. I used to go to Daisy all the time, and I'd go to Millwood, and I'd stand outside there for hours on end just to see them players for like 20 seconds, mate. I'd get wheelie bins, and I'd bring them over to the fence, and I'd stand over the top and get shouted at by all the security and that. Like, that place. I got my phone signed by Rafa Benitez once in that place. You know what I mean? Your little Samsung flip phone and that. So I'm gutted to see that go. That was part of the community, that lad. Like a real part of like the soul. Daysbrook's a poor area. It's not a great area, lad. So to have that in the middle of it was almost like what Liverpool stands for, mate, essentially. But Kirby's not a great area either, to be quite honest. So, but it's just a bit far out. So I'm going to see Millwood go. That's part of my childhood and part of my whole Liverpool experience and journey. Part of it's gone now, do you get what I mean? Gerrard trained there all his career.
He did. And listen, I don't live in Liverpool now, but whenever I've been to see my auntie in West Derby, we'd always drive past Millwood and you'd see the kids standing on the bins, the purple bins, getting shouted at. And it is like from the boot room days of the Ronnie Morans, the Bob Paisleys, the Bill Shankleys, this training ground, Millwood, is synonymous with bringing talent through from the academy right up to winning the European Cup. So, yeah, I think once Millwood does become extinct, I think a small part of the club will go with it. But listen, I was talking to someone earlier about this, Doyle, and it is progress. It is a better place. It is going to hopefully attract better players for us. But so sad to say goodbye to Millwood. And listen, I hope that after all these years, we give it a good send-off and definitely beat City to give it that send-off it deserves. A few more random questions coming in from the Anfield talk. I know it's random, but lads, when do you think we could get Carlsberg back as our corporate sponsor, as the Standard Chartered sponsorship contract is running out? So with Carlsberg, they still are a big sponsor of Liverpool, just not the shirt sponsor. So, for instance, when we play a game and there's a man of the match, it's always the Carlsberg man of the match. So they are definitely still in with the club. I mean, Carlsberg, you could go back to Crown Pate, Candy, even Hitachi if you want to, which was the very first. And this is a great fact, Doyle. Get on this, fella. Liverpool in 1978 or 79, correct me if I'm wrong, people in the comments, but we were the first ever team in Europe to get a sponsor on our shirt, and it was Hitachi.
Mad.
Pave makers, mate. Paving
always the way. After that money, lad.
Yeah. Even from back in the day. But listen, Carlsberg, I don't know. Would that go with the Nike kit? We'd have to mock up a little version and see if it still looks good.
Do it.
But yeah, I mean, I'm all for Carlsberg. I think we've obviously had some up and down times with Standard Chartered, but I'm all right with them, to be fair, for the next couple of years. Huddy Boy says, I agree with Doyle that we should rest Robertson. He's been our best player.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think resting Robertson tonight will just keep him fresh on Monday. But then again, with Tsimikas injured, do you want to rest Robbo tonight and play Milner at left back? Me personally, no. And Dicko says tonight is where it properly sinks in that we've got no fans. It would have been brilliant. Sadly, I don't think there'll be any at all this season. Yeah. David says the engine room should be traditional. Hendo, Millie and Ginny will get a free one because these will be desperate for a goal. before they get knocked out. It's a good shout. That a good goal difference won't hurt. Jota and Minamino to score, says Arjun. Can't rest Robbo because Costas is not available. Stop making us sad, Doyle. Fuck, man. I think that's when you were talking about Melwood, to be fair.
Yeah.
I think how in November it will be 7 months since Anfield was full. That is so sad. Huddy Boy going for 4-2. Could put Million at left back. Put Million. Alcantara. Start, lads. No, he will not start. He definitely will play a part in the game on Saturday, though. Alex ordering Amazon. Yeah, to be fair, he just knocked on that to answer that. Come on, Reds, 3 points needed. No, Thiago, Costas, Matip, Keita. Yes, a strong start for a team, though. If the fringe players can't beat these, they aren't good enough for Liverpool. Absolutely agree with that. Get the game on early. Make the 5 subs. Great shout there from Ant. Top Scouser he is. No Sumikas. A lot of comments coming in, guys. Really loving this. We might even extend this by 5 minutes just so you can whack in some random questions if you did want to get on the comments right now and do some random ones. Don't forget Curtis Jones because he's won because of one bad half, guys. No one's saying that at all.
No.
Thoughts on the new Kirby training facilities? We've spoken about that. Sorry, all these comments have just come in, so I'm actually having to go through them. Would love to see Reece Williams at centre back. I won't lie. 1 goal away from scoring 10,000. We think it will be Origi. It is 5 subs tonight, of course, so we can really play around with the team. Miss Operation Anfield badly, says Ant Dicko. I think that was the one thing that everyone probably didn't like when you went to Anfield was the Operation Anfield reminder that everyone needed to be sat down. What a load of rubbish. Shite team 7-2 from the Blue Boys. Yeah, nice one, man. Second of the table, Shite team. Thank you very much for that blue and red love there. We love that. I find it crazy how Everton are talking about winning the league. A lot more team predictions here. Adrian, Fabinho, Gomez, Williams, Robbo's backup, Milner, Wijnaldum, Jones, Jota, Salah, Origi. That is a very, very left field team there.
Adrian, lads, you want to see Adrian start?
I do not. There's the thoughts of nuclear atoms. David Lassoff says, newsflash, not Everton will be in the top 4. 3-1, Jota, Minamino and Jones to score. Mo for 10k. Don't you mean Everton? Absolutely. Milner and Ginny should swap place. And we're just getting through these now. Ant Dicko, who do I prefer, Liam or Noel? I think music-wise, I prefer Noel, but as a person, I prefer Liam. Having said that, he literally said no for a picture a couple of weeks ago, but it's still Liam. The Anfield Talk says, Noel. Arjun wants to see Curtis Jones to score. Would love to see Minamino start. And Dicko with a great random question. And we're all about the random questions here towards the end of shows, guys. Obviously, we get the match preview and the 11 out of the way first, but then we like to enjoy ourselves. And Dicko, does Doyle have a rich tea with his brew? Great question. It's the question we all want to know.
No, lads. You know, we had this same discussion the other day. What biscuit I have with my tea, lads?
Yeah, absolutely.
What biscuit do I have, Gilly, lads?
Well, to be fair, I've seen you eat a few biscuits with teas and that, but I actually can't remember both. I'm not going to lie.
Remember? Right, I'm just getting off now, lad. Anyway, see you later.
What did you have again, bro? Oh yeah, of course.
Power biscuit, then. Simple.
A little bit outdated now. The nice.
Definitely not, lad. How can a classic be outdated, lad? They're called classics, bro.
Champions, bro. Love that. Any more questions for Doyle? Do get us in. Obviously, the thumbnail for this video is Doyle with a football balancing it on his head. Of course, very talented freestyler on his head. So do get some more random questions in for the last 5 minutes. 3-0 Liverpool win. Salah to score the 10,000th goal. Tottenham
10,000 goal.
No PPV. Donate to food banks instead. This is something that we should all be getting behind.
Wonderful. I agree. Do you know? Do you know what I love about Liverpool, lad? Only 1,000 fans paid for the Liverpool game, and do you know how much money Liverpool, like the food banks, raised in Liverpool because people started to donate into the food banks instead of that, and they raised like 100 grand or something like mad. Do you know what I mean? So, Liverpool fans, don't pay for these matches. Go to food banks. There's always ways to see the game. That's all I'm going to say.
There you go. Love that. Always ways to see the game. That's all you should leave it as there, Doyle. Thank you very much. Do you think Fabinho should partner Gomez going forward? And which midfield would you have if Fab is back there in the defence? So we touched on this earlier.
Yeah.
Obviously, Gomez and Fab should partner each other. For now, going forward, obviously it will be either Matip or Gomez and Van Dijk, but that could be for a long time in the future. Is naming rights the way to go now? So I think Claudia T is talking about the new facility in Kirby. It's going to be called the AXA Academy, I think.
I don't like it, lad. I hate it, lad. I do not like it in any way. Imagine someone coming over to Anfield, lad, and saying, we're going to call this like the fucking Reebok Stadium or something, lad. Yeah. You'd be wounded. It's got no personality anymore, lad. It's become a corporate like machine. We're not Man City, lad. We're Liverpool, you know what I mean? Like, we have an identity and a character to that we have to maintain and keep, because it's part of the whole Liverpool experience. You can't have Liverpool without literally being Liverpool.
Yeah, I mean, Anfield, not only is it the famous stadium name, but a lot of people might not even know this, but Anfield is the place of where the stadium is. And I think when you look at Man City, their stadium is called the Etihad, which is named after the kind of the Arab company who have basically bankrolled Man City for 10 to 15 years. So, I mean, the actual place of where the Etihad Stadium is, I couldn't tell you. So, again, you're so right. We're not Man City, and you know, we do things proper. Another random question coming in. Favourite from Home Baked? Obviously, the pie shop outside of Anfield. I'm going to go with the chicken pie. I've had a chicken pie from there before. Chris Pajak from the Red Men TV, he's a big home baked pie fan. You can see his top of the cops from a few months back where he does say home baked pies, the best pies in the business. So I'm going for it. Yeah, Dylan reminding us that they raised 100k to support, just the people in Liverpool alone. Absolutely love that. Just go down the pub or go to another country to watch the games. Absolutely. Well said, Doyle. Liverpool are much of a history club than Shit City with no fans. David here says AXA Training Centre sounds like an insurance company's
exactly, lad.
School. Yeah,
exactly, lad. It doesn't sound like Liverpool Football Club's training ground with some of the best football players in the world, does it, lads?
No, you're totally right, bro. I couldn't agree with you more. I saw a video on Tifo Football that it was Klopp's plan to open up a new training centre so that he could leave a legacy at Liverpool when he leaves the club. And Dicko says digestives or chocolate biscuits. I'm going to go with chocolate biscuits over digestive. Yeah, 100%. 100%. Right.
Digestives and no thrills, lad. No, everyone wants a thrill with the big biscuit, lad, don't they?
No frills, no spills. Right, guys, if you haven't already, head over to Instagram, type in Freestyle DM. You can see the name there on the screen. Follow up Doyle. He's just jumped on Twitter as well. Eventually, he'll get on YouTube and set up his own channel. But for right now, we love having him on the Kop TV. We're also going to be starting 2 new shows this month. Well, it's the end of October, isn't it? So we'll say in November, we're going to have 2 new weekly shows for you, from Kop to Bottom, the Premier League review show or preview show, and Kop Bins as well. And Doyle is going to be involved in both of them, going to be a big part of the channel moving forward. A final question to finish us off. The favourite pub around the ground? I mean, the Sandon's always fun. The Park's always fun. Hotel Tia's always good.
Lad, I like the Sandon just because it's scatty, lad, and there's always loads of fans. Yeah. It's just a scatty, horrible pub where you can go and get your pint before the game, lad, and just chat shit. You know what I mean?
I also big shout out to what's the one me and Jack go to and we film. I mean, obviously we filmed in the Park, we film outside the Park pub before, but the Flatiron. The Flatiron, decent
famous
one.
That pub, lads.
Yeah. We like the Flatiron.
If anyone's ever been to the ground, that Flatiron's like, have you seen the building in New York? The crazy shaped building. That's based off that, lad. That's what that's based off.
It's actually just had a revamp and it's full of grass and like fake turf on the outside now. Yeah. Just been done. So when we can get back around the ground and go to the pubs there, I'd recommend the Flatiron, the Park. I have to say that because we were out there all the fucking time. You've got the Albert, you've got Hotel Tia, you've got King Harry's as well, which is a decent pub around the corner. So there's loads. The Hares is sound. You obviously got what's the away end one? The one where all the teams come in on the buses. It begins with an A. The Arkles. That's there as well, outside the away end. But yes, Ant Dicko, 5-0 tonight, 3-0 Saturday, 3-1 Atlanta, and 3-1 against City. He's just literally giving predictions for the next month. So we love that, Ant. Thank you very much. The Hares is also sound. Yes. Will James Redmond be involved? Absolutely. James will be involved in every show that we do with Doyle as well. So yes, guys, if you haven't already, 30 of you watching right now, I expect at least 30 likes on this video. Because if you're all watching, you should be dropping a like and you should be subscribing as well. Like I said, go to Instagram. We've got Doyle's link to his Instagram in the bio for this video, so go and follow him. He's part of the family. But yes, Liverpool tonight. Well, obviously, we're going to have fan cams as well. So if you would like to get on the fan cams, Ant, then do give me a shout. So Doyle will be back on the channel come 10 o'clock for the fan cams, and hopefully we can witness another Liverpool win in the Champions League. And then the big one on Saturday against West Ham as well. And we've got Top of the Kops tomorrow night with Gav from the LFC Day Trippers. So shitloads of content coming out of the Kop TV right now. I'm going to stop talking. I'm fed up of the sound of my own voice. Doyle, I love you, mate. Take care, and I'll see you later.
See you later, lad. Up the Reds.
In a bit.